Alright, hello again. So I said I was going to start up a live stream about regarding our plan of action. So we've done a lot of talking. We still got a lot more talking to do, to be honest, because I mean we've got some, general ideas about what we'd like to see happen, about legislation that we want and need passed. So that's a great place to start. So from there, let's talk a little bit about our plan of action before we go back into more specifics, because we probably have to talk about that before we can really get bogged down in the specifics of the policies. So, oh, I forgot about live chat again. There we go. All right. First, my little book. Oh, it's sick. I used to write on. Okay. Now I'm ready. Let's see here. Yep, we're back. Let's see. Today's what, the 7th? No. Is it? Yeah, it's the 7th. Okay. All right. I always put the date of our live streams on here, that way it's easier when I go back to look for notes. 12. See, if I was all professional, this is stuff I would do before I started my live stream. But it's alright. You're not here for my professionalism. Alright, so plan of action. Now, I think first of all, I'd like to start with the Rolodex of allies, pretty much. Because there's one way of doing it where you can just go out and just put out a general flyer. Like let's say you're going to have an event or a protest or whatever it is. All right, you could put out a general flyer that people may or may not respond to. But if you call up somebody and say, hey, Lissa, hey, I know that, you've been fighting for this and this, and so we're doing an event. It would be really awesome if you could be there. Can I count on you? That's way more specific than, a Facebook event. Not that that's not helpful, but, and then you can, this is how you, I feel like this would probably be the best way to organize events, because she knows people. Just using Lissa as an example, I'm sure she's in contact with all kinds of groups and stuff, and people that are interested in the same stuff that we're interested in. So she can be like, oh well, I can't make it, but I know these people. I bet they'd like to go. Here's their contact information. So this, I don't know. I'm not really good at this stuff, and I don't know how to do any of it. This is all new to me. We're all just trying to figure it out. And talking to people and doing this it's so bizarre. Like, you would have told me I was doing this 5 years ago, I would have called you nuts. God, I was just so quiet and shy. I still am to a certain degree, but this is crazy. Can't believe I'm sitting here making plans about calling people and talking. Are we still good? I'm still going? Alright. What do you mean what happened? Oh, you mean from the last live stream? I wanted to end it because I just wanted to do a quick one on that, about George Bush. Yeah, and then I ended up still yammering on for another 15 minutes after that, but that's alright. It's a short video for me, at least. 17 minutes isn't too bad. So we were just discussing our plan of action here. So, and what kind of groups would be good? Unions? I don't know about in y'all states, but here we also have a group of water protectors. Um, and we also have groups of mountain protectors, which kind of go hand in hand. We need activists, which I've known of a couple of them. Would you? Activists. Retirees might be a good option. What sorts of groups? Well, you know all the topics we've been discussing lately, and now we're to the point where, we're kind of spitballing on how to organize groups of people. So I figured we've got, like, the problem here is we have a lot of little factions. And those little factions just don't, there's not enough for there to be real power. But, with the teachers, you had a whole state full of teachers and they all showed up. So that's what we need to do. So I'm trying to, pretty much unionize all these, or unify all these different factions for, for whatever it is. Hey, Upstate. We need to appeal to regular people. That means we don't start with principles. We start with something they'll care about: hope, mutual support, and fun. Okay. I'll put that on here. Gardeners. Oh my God. This gnat is driving me up the wall. He won't leave me alone. Gardeners? Yeah, like I was starting off with people that, at least, because there's so much propaganda here that, I mean, people literally believe that we lost coal jobs because Obama was a tree-hugging hippie. Even though he most certainly was not. But that's the kind of information. So at least with some of these groups, like, you don't have to get rid of the disinformation before going forward. Churches. Oh, thank you. I don't know why I didn't think about that one sooner. Churches, yes. Food. Oh, yes. I am from West Virginia. It's not an event unless there's food there. No matter what. There's always an excuse for potluck. Website. Yeah, website. Okay, so so that's just a list of people. Now we'll drop down here. Fun. And what was that thing you said? Focus on I forget how you put it. Let me scroll back up. Fun, hope, support. Okay. Game groups. Stuff like that. Sorry. That. Alright, so the media is the biggest weapon. They do more damage. Just in the things they don't tell us. Forget the nonsense that, yeah. Yep. We should be using techniques that revolutionaries use. Face-to-face, mail drops, low-tech stuff. Yeah, especially places like here, because I'm not really sure where everybody's from, but places like here, tech isn't really, or internet, I can't rely on that because so many people don't have it. Okay, you're from Massachusetts. Okay, cool. I don't know much about Massachusetts. I'm gonna be real honest. Hopefully, you like it up there. I don't know how it is compared to down here. I don't understand. All right, Chris Hedges suggested. What's local radio? Like, are you talking about like, is that AM or FM, or is that something totally different? Mail drops. Okay, yeah. Oh, fishermen. Yeah. Hunters, fishermen. Yeah, that's an excellent point, Jeremy. Yeah, I'm going to put them on there. I mean, like I said, one of these groups alone probably wouldn't be enough to make a difference. And that's why they get so down and they feel so powerless, because it's just like, well, we've only got like 100 people, maybe half of them will show up, you know. So, but when you get all these people together, oh my gosh, you know how good it would feel for them just to know that, like, hey, that person over there, like, I didn't think that, you've got water protectors and hunters, retirees, activists, I mean, churches. I mean, you look around about all the different types of people that would be there. It would be like, it's kind of nice that we can all kind of get together on stuff. Oh, that's so good to hear, Peter. Community radio? I'll have to look at it, because the only radio I know of is, like what I turn on like in the car. So, what time is it? It's 1. Okay. Oh, that's neat. Your high school had an AM radio station. Mhm. Yeah, I mean, the first couple of times that we'd meet would probably have to be what you're talking about, Peter. Um, just to get to know everybody, I mean, it is a somewhat of a slow process. You can't just walk up to somebody and be like, "Hey, I think you should vote for this person," or "I think you should believe in this." Like, that's just, you gotta ease into that and get to know somebody before. I listen a lot. I know I do a lot of talking on here, but I listen way more than I talk, or I read way more than I talk. For everything that I say, there's a lot of listening and research that goes into it. Potluck politics. Ooh, I like that. Oh, I really like that. We need to figure out why Occupy worked. Hmm. Yeah, I really do need to learn more about that. Now, I had somebody on here that had been to Occupy before. So if we can get her on here and talk to her a little bit more about it, that'd be awesome. Yeah, I'm looking, well, not just here, but, different groups, in whatever state that you're in, like if you're interested in doing this kind of thing. Now, some of these are a little bit more specific to here, like mountain protectors. You're not going to get that in, like, Florida or somewhere, you know what I mean? But you would have retirees there. Chris said, hometown Huddersfield has just been voted worst town to live in England. Kind of gives me a warm, glowy feeling inside. Ooh. Really? Mm, that's bad. What makes it so bad? Is it just like no jobs, or is there like crime, or is it next to like a sewage treatment plant or something? Like, what's going on there? Yeah, Occupy had local meetings at people's homes. Yeah, I don't think that they really relied on the I think it might have been a Chris Hedges book that I read where they were talking about how they would write. They wouldn't even talk. They'd leave all their cell phones outside. They would write back and forth on scraps of paper and then throw it in the fire. All right. Yeah, I've done that. Oh, wait, maybe. You know what? I might be able to organize something. A roller derby event. Now that sounds like fun, right? And where I used to do that, um, I know the girls up there, or they're not girls, or women, but you know what I mean. Uh, and some of them are. I mean, that's what I loved about roller derby was there were so many different types of people. Like, it wasn't just. I mean, there was lawyers and nurses and you know moms, just all kinds of people. So we could do like a roller derby event. Oh, the brain's firing. How many here are aware that the Pentagon failed its audit is in violation of the Constitution and guilty of the largest theft in human history? Yeah. I mean, that's kind of what they do, which is why we're doing what we're doing, Because you can't just keep letting these people, no accountability whatsoever. None. My governor still owes $2 million in taxes to Kentucky. What's going to happen to him? Nothing. That's what. Because there's no accountability. They can thieve all day long. They can steal. They can not pay, the money that they owe. It's all right, because nothing's ever going to happen to them because everything's been corrupted. The, law enforcement, the judges, and that's why we're all suffering. They need to start doing some jail time, and I'm not talking white collar prison or 14-day stints. I'm talking they need real prison, because these are psychopaths that, when let out, they do things that destroy people's lives. And I think prison is for people that harm other people, and that's what they do. They can't make amends. They can't make amends for that. What can you give somebody? There was a miner that here, and he lost his son in Upper Big Branch, and it just watching him. There's nothing you can give that man. There's nothing you can give that man, unless you can find a way to give him back his son. That's it. There's no amount of money. There's nothing that could undo that. And just for every parent like that, there's another one that had somebody die from opioid epidemic, or from gun violence, or from lack of health insurance, or they fought in a stupid war that didn't need to be fought. You can't give those people. You can't give that back. There's nothing. I mean, we can prevent it from happening to somebody else, but yeah. Yeah, there's nothing you can do. I mean, that's the most precious resource that there is. And even though there's so many people, each person, you can't rebuild that. Like, that's just such a unique thing, a human being, the way that they grew up, the way that they thought, everything they've been exposed to has, formed somebody that is, you can't replicate that. And once that's gone, it's gone. And isn't that supposed to be how we base value on, is the scarcity of a resource? Isn't that how we do it? So you tell me, I mean, how much money is somebody's life worth? What's that? I mean, because they trade it for real cheap here. Didn't mean to get all dark on you. I did. You got real dark and depressing there. Woo. Yeah. Yeah, restitution to the children of Flint. You can't fix lead poisoning. Yeah. You just can't. What's done is done, and putting them in jail, stopping them from doing this to somebody else, that's the only thing that would make me feel any better. I mean, it wouldn't fix things, but to know that nobody else would have to go through that, it would help a little bit. I mean, I've seen some people around here die from greed because they don't want to pay for safety equipment, or proper equipment for the miners, or forcing people to do like these long truck hauls, and so they'll fall asleep at the wheel, stuff like that. And it's greed, and every time somebody like in the coal industry dies, I'm like, that was so not necessary, because we don't even need that. How many miners over how many years have died for a resource that is completely, I mean, I wouldn't say completely, I still think we need it for a few things, but yeah, we don't need this job like we used to. It should be just a few people still working in that. How do you make greed not worth it? I don't know. Because greed is I equate it a lot like addiction. It's an addiction to money, and you just need more and more and more and more of it, a bigger and bigger fix, And it doesn't matter whose lives you destroy in the process of getting it, or how you have to get it, or what you have to do, what you have to say. It's just, at the end of the day, you just need more and more of it. And that's where they're at. And the people that they surround themselves with, aren't telling them like, well, that's a bad thing. They're just like, oh, you are such a hard worker. Look at you did this. Congratulations, you were born wealthy, and you didn't manage to screw it all up. Because rules are rigged in your favor. But nobody ever points that out to them. They just say, oh, you earned it. This, because you're special and you deserve it. And these peons down here, they don't deserve it like you do. Coal, steel, a huge core issue besides money and politics and voting rights is that telecommunications, that we have to break up banks and monopoly media. In the current, yes, all of these, one area helps the other area, which, I mean, when you look at all these laws that were passed from the most recent going all the way back, I mean, look at all that we have to undo. Because with each one, they pushed it a little bit more towards fascism, a little bit more towards what we are stuck with right now. So, and this is what my doctor told me after I had my baby. He's like, it took you 9 months to put on this weight, so it's probably going to take you 9 months to get it off. Now, probably the same thing with this. It's taken us, what, 50, 60 years to get to this point? It would probably take us about 50, 60 years to undo it if we... But the thing is I don't have 50, 60 years. Y'all don't either. Our kids don't have that. Our planet doesn't have that. So we're going to have to figure out a way real quick. And that's why I've been kind of obsessively live streaming with you guys, because when I'm thinking about this, I start to go in circles. Now, when I start talking with y'all, we can start actually getting somewhere and getting some ideas. So, I think we're really on the right track to actually doing something. What we're doing here. I think this is extremely important. Maybe I'm just biased, but I mean, do y'all feel like that? I mean, I feel like we're actually making some progress here. Talking about policies, we're getting our plan of action together. I mean, I think this is doable. It's going to be really freaking hard, but it's not impossible. We can do this. They're exterminating us. I have a documentary from about 60 years ago from West Virginia, and there was this guy that came in, it was a preacher, and he said people don't need people anymore. They just ship you around, moving from one location to the next, looking for the next temporary job. People don't need people anymore. That was 60 years ago. Work up a statement of principles and goals, and then share it so people can start their own local groups. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so let me write that down. What time is it? Okay. Yeah, just like the founding fathers who wrote the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, to address the problems with royalty. Yeah, that's why I wanted to revisit those documents, because I think that's where we need to start. These are the things that we want. These are the things that we need. And I hate saying want, because we're not even asking for perks. These aren't extras. We're fighting for the stuff that we deserve and that we need. We're not going around fighting for Lamborghinis. It's like, hey, I would like to have medicine for when I get sick. Billions of useless eaters. Whoa. Wow. Billions of useless eaters. But you know what? I guarantee you that's the mentality across the board with those people. You think Hillary Clinton? I guarantee you she thinks the same thing. We're having all these people is not cost effective, I guess. It's not good for profits. Oh, Peter, you put your first video up. Okay, I am definitely going to watch that. Yes, Rob. Yeah. We need to focus on the money, because that's where a lot of people, I lose a lot of people here, because they're like, well, how are you going to pay for that? How are you going to pay for that? We don't have money for that. We don't have money. Like, everybody thinks that we're broke. We're the richest nation, and yet everybody assumes that we're broke. Yeah, and no more crumbs. I ain't fighting for crumbs. I ain't fighting for scraps. Jeremy, they refer to us as consumers for a reason. Yeah, and policy, not personality. No more of this identity politics or party politics. I'm just so done with it. If government is going broke, yeah. Yeah, wouldn't you rather go broke taking care of people and doing the right thing than going broke by fighting endless wars or for giving rich people a bunch of money they don't need? Yeah, how do we pay? How do we pay for it? How are you going to pay for those bombs? MMT. Yeah, I'm still looking into that. I know the general premise of it, but I don't understand how, like, money works. Like, how, like, what's the life cycle of it? How is it, and mostly like these agencies, like the banks. I don't understand how the banks and like the Federal Reserve and all this different stuff works. Like, there's just so many different, I don't know, people and bureaus, and like, what is that even? And then you got like stock market and GDP. Like, all these are just terms. Like, what is it? I know what a GDP is, though. But yeah, it gets really complicated and confusing. In the military-industrial complex. That's why I go so hard against the military-industrial complex and money and politics, because those seem to be the root cause for a lot of this stuff. That's why we don't, we keep giving money to, like, the military, yet Flint, yet all the other Flints across America, we're not prioritizing. Okay, the Federal Reserve is Congress's bank. Just think of the Fed as the Department of Congressional Banking. Okay. I'm surrounded by Republicans, and their first stated reason is always, well, I wasn't going to vote for Hillary. Yeah, that was kind of a bonding experience. I'm sorry, Endo, but that was kind of a bonding experience because we were so radically different. Like, the people here and me, it's like, well, and I started talking to them. They're like, yeah, but that Hillary. And I was like, yeah, Hillary. Yeah. So it's like, we can definitely agree. Yeah, and that's why I talked to him. I was like, that's exactly why, people like her are the reason why they think everybody on the left is just, a bunch of like people that don't care about workers or, and stuff like that. So, there's things that we agree on, there's things that we don't. Like, I couldn't, I had reasons, specific reasons I wouldn't vote for Hillary. But then when I looked at Trump, you know, it was the same thing. And as much as I was angry at the DNC, like just going and voting for Trump to, as a big FU, it just seemed like not so much to them, but to the people that, he would end up bombing or hurting. So that's why I voted Jill Stein. It's the only person that I could actually trust to, you know, not kill a bunch of people or, do some kind of heinous thing in office. Simon wants to know why America. I think it just comes down to the whole money thing and people just thinking that we're broke and we can't afford it. And yeah, I mean, when you come here and you've got people that have been living under the torture of poverty, when they don't know where their food's coming from or if they're going to be able to keep their house or, all this different stuff. And you've got, I mean, it's like a literal gun to their head. Like, you don't know how you're going to survive. There's a gun to your head. Who are you going to vote for? The person that says, well, we're going to train you for jobs that don't exist there. Or are you going to vote for the guy that actually promised you your old job back? And it was desperate. I mean, nothing in Trump ever would lead me to believe he would follow through with his promises. But when your back's against the wall, Oh, organizing to promote progressive businesses. I like that one. Well, I don't know about progressive, but I would like to, or at least local. Just start with that, just local. I mean, funnel some of that money away from Walmart and Amazon. Co-op, yeah. And you go down to the farmer's market. I bet there's, it's just, I don't know why the farmer's market is like right in the middle of Charleston. It is such a pain to get to. There's like no parking. But I need to go down there and ask around about co-ops. Alright, so what time is it? Alright, it's 1:22. I gotta leave for work here in about 10 minutes, so I'm just gonna go get ready real quick. And I don't know, tonight's one of the nights that I work late. We don't close till 11, so it means I probably won't be out till like 1, depending on who I work with. But yeah, if not, we'll just do one another one tomorrow if y'all are up for it. Go ahead and if you have any more ideas on this topic, just leave them in the comments, or if you have a topic for the next live stream, just leave that down there too, because y'all are really, I mean, these are some fantastic ideas. I think we're doing really great with this. So just thank you for all the work that you've been putting in and all your ideas and for listening. And I'll catch you next time, okay?